Planning Coastal Development, Erosion Risk Assessment. Title: Planning Coastal Development, Erosion Risk Assessment. Introduction. Coastal areas are valuable natural resources that provide numerous ecological, economic, and recreational benefits to communities worldwide. However, they are also highly susceptible to erosion, which can lead to significant loss of land, property, and infrastructure. As coastal development becomes more prevalent, it is crucial to establish effective strategies for assessing erosion risks and implementing sustainable plans to mitigate these risks. Understanding erosion risk. Erosion risk assessment is a comprehensive process that involves analyzing the factors contributing to coastal erosion and understanding their potential impacts. The assessment should consider both natural and human-induced elements, such as wave energy, sediment transport, sea level rise, coastal landforms, human activities, and climate change. By evaluating these factors, policymakers and planners can make informed decisions to minimize erosion risks and protect coastal communities. Coastal development planning. Effective coastal development planning is a multidisciplinary approach that considers the unique characteristics and vulnerabilities of each coastal area. It should aim to strike a balance between the development needs and environmental conservation, taking into account the potential consequences of erosion. Here are key considerations when planning coastal development. 1. Ecosystem-based approach. Adopting an ecosystem-based approach ensures that development plans reflect the interconnected nature of coastal ecosystems. It considers the ecological functions and services provided by coastal habitats, such as wetlands, dunes, and mangroves, in reducing erosion risks. Integrating ecosystem conservation into development plans enhances resilience and reduces the need for costly engineering solutions. 2. Vulnerability assessment. Assessing the vulnerability of coastal areas to erosion is crucial in identifying high-risk zones. Factors such as shoreline retreat rates, geology, existing protective measures, and land use pattern must be analyzed. This assessment helps identify areas where development should be limited or subject to additional mitigation measures. 3. Sea level rise projections. With rising sea levels due to climate change, it is essential to consider future projections in coastal development planning. Incorporating sea level rise scenarios into erosion risk assessments ensures that developments are resilient to changing environmental conditions. Adaptation strategies, such as setback lines, raised building foundations, and flood-proofing, can help mitigate the risks associated with sea level rise. 4. Infrastructure design and placement. Structures built near coastal areas should be designed to withstand erosion forces. Techniques such as beach nourishment, dune restoration, and the use of bioengineering methods can provide natural buffers against erosion. Additionally, locating critical infrastructure, such as hospitals and emergency services, in areas less prone to erosion safeguards essential services during extreme events. 5. Stakeholder engagement. Including local communities, experts, and stakeholders in the planning and decision-making processes is vital for successful coastal development. Stakeholders can provide valuable insights on the unique characteristics of the area, historical knowledge, and potential impacts on livelihoods. Engaging with communities fosters ownership, transparency, and cooperation, leading to more sustainable outcomes. Best practices in erosion risk assessment. To ensure effective erosion risk assessment, planners should employ best practices and methodologies backed by scientific research. Some widely recognized practices include: 1. Data collection and analysis. Accurate and up-to-date data collection is essential for reliable risk assessment. It includes gathering information on shoreline evolution, bathymetry, sediment characteristics, and historical data. On storm events. Advanced technologies such as remote sensing, LiDAR, and aerial photography can aid in data collection to achieve comprehensive insights. 2. Modeling and simulations. Numerical models and simulations help predict erosion patterns, wave dynamics, and sediment transport. These tools enable planners to evaluate erosion risks, test various scenarios, and assess the efficacy of proposed mitigation measures effectively. Models should consider both short-term and long-term assessments to account for changing environmental conditions. 3. Monitoring and evaluation. Continuous monitoring of coastal areas is crucial to assess the effectiveness of erosion risk mitigation measures and adapt plans as needed. Erosion risk assessment plays a vital role in coastal development planning, ensuring the long-term environmental and socioeconomic sustainability of coastal regions. To understand erosion risk, a comprehensive assessment is necessary. This process involves analyzing factors contributing to coastal erosion and understanding their potential impacts. Natural element. Like wave energy, sediment transport, sea level rise, coastal landforms, as well as human activities and climate change, must be considered. This evaluation allows policymakers and planners to make informed decisions, minimizing erosion risks and protecting coastal communities. When planning coastal development, several key considerations should be taken into account. Firstly, adopting an ecosystem-based approach is essential. This approach acknowledges the interconnected array of coastal ecosystems and the role played by habitats like wetlands, dunes, and mangroves in reducing erosion risks. By integrating ecosystem conservation into development plans, resilience is enhanced, reducing the need for costly engineering solutions. Assessing the vulnerability of coastal areas to erosion is another crucial consideration. Factors such as shoreline retreat rates, geology, existing protective measures, and land use patterns must be analyzed to identify high-risk zones. This assessment helps determine where development should be limited or subject to additional mitigation measures. Given the rising sea levels caused by climate change, it is essential to consider future projections when planning coastal development. Incorporating sea level rise scenarios into erosion risk assessment ensures that developments are resilient to changing environmental conditions. Adaptation strategies, including setback lines, raised building foundations, and flood-proofing, can help mitigate the risks associated with sea level rise. Infrastructure design and placement are also crucial aspects of coastal development planning. Structures built near coastal areas should be able to withstand erosion forces. Techniques like beach nourishment, dune restoration, and bioengineering methods can provide natural buffers against erosion. Additionally, locating critical infrastructure, such as hospitals and emergency services, in areas less prone to erosion safeguards essential services during extreme events. Stakeholder engagement is vital for successful coastal development. Engaging with communities fosters ownership, transparency, and cooperation, leading to more sustainable outcomes. To ensure effective erosion risk assessment, planners should employ best practices and methodologies backed by scientific research. Accurate and up-to-date data collection is essential, including information on shoreline evolution, bathymetry, sediment characteristics, and historical data on storm events. Advanced technologies such as remote sensing, LiDAR, and aerial photography can aid in data collection to achieve comprehensive insights.